facing the police every single day. Hey, Sherri County, this is Sherri County COPWATCH, and I have not did this for a while, and I did not know about this page. You know, a lot of people ask me, what do I mean by freedom was planted? And this is what I mean. We are not free. Our founding fathers fought for freedom, and our government has totally fucking taken over. We now have the most people in prison than the whole rest of the world, and we're supposed to be free. There's a book called 3 Felonies a Day. There's so many books, laws in the books, local, state, and federal, that everyone is committing a crime. And also, too, to commit a crime, you need a victim. And so much of the shit that they're doing nowadays doesn't even have a victim. So that's, you know, usually when I meet a cop, I'll ask them a lot of times, would our founding fathers consider you friend or foe? I say foe. And here's the reason why. When our founding fathers took on the redcoat British police, it was because of the taxes. They tried to take our guns, and they're illegally entering. That's why we have the Fourth Amendment. And they're literally writing a fucking warrant at your doorstep and coming to your house. We have completely blown that away. We make Nazi Germany jealous of the fucking shit they're doing to the people of America right now. So that's what I mean by freedom was planted. They can't hurt anybody anymore. 90+% of what they did was for fucking victimless crime bullshit. Period. That's what I mean by freedom was planted. So, I didn't get all the videos on these. I've got a couple to start with. You know, it's funny. Any reason why any cop dies, they put him in here. I mean, you could die of natural causes. You could die in an accident because it's your fault. There's one story I did in here. The cop shot their own guy. It's just stupid, man. So that is my explanation. Freedom was planted. They can't fucking hurt anybody anymore. Remember what our founding fathers said, take a goddamn country back, and you're a frog in a pot and spoiling. Get the fuck out and fight for your freedom while you still can.
Officer Mulkeen's partners fired 10 rounds. But I will tell you now that our investigation so far has found that Officer Mulkeen retained his firearm during the entire violent struggle he had with the suspect. Brian was the one who fired his own weapon. He fired 5 rounds at the suspect. As we told you on Sunday, the suspect's loaded gun was not fired during this incident. Investigation has also found that Officer Mulkeen's partners fired 10 rounds, and 2 of those rounds struck Officer Mulkeen. This is a tragic case of friendly fire, but make no mistake, we lost the life of a courageous public servant solely due to a violent criminal who put the lives of the police and all the people we serve in jeopardy. I want to remind you that amidst this absolute tragedy, that is the loss of an NYPD officer, Brian's heroic actions were taken in the course of confronting a convicted felon who possessed an illegal loaded firearm. And those actions by Officer Mulkeen have made the people we serve, especially the people who live and work in the area of Edenwald houses, safer. In every incident that happens in the NYPD, there's the opportunity to learn and to move forward and to get better at what we do. So we're going to take a look at this. There is video available. We can learn from this and move forward. And just as I said in my opening statement, this is an absolute tragedy. And again, it was caused by a convicted felon carrying an illegal and loaded firearm.
Conspiracy case, everyone should be concerned about this video, and more importantly, what Chester County Sheriff Alex Underwood and his top officials are accused of doing after are laid out in this indictment. Kevin Simpson shot this video last Thanksgiving, and he gave it to our South Carolina reporter Greg Suskin. Now, Simpson recorded Chester deputies working a case outside of his home. Within minutes, Sheriff Alex Underwood told Simpson to get on the porch. 25 minutes later, the sheriff came back to tell him again. The 2 exchanged words, then federal documents say Sheriff Underwood grabbed Simpson and illegally arrested him. Now, the FBI got word and last month went to the sheriff's office to collect evidence. FBI documents say Chester County Lieutenant Johnny Neal And Chief Deputy Robert Sprouse used their positions to intimidate. They're also accused of putting a hold on Simpson's case so he'd stay in jail, getting his cell phone illegally and hiding it, and faking records, shifting the blame, even lying to the FBI.
On making sure Mr. Parks is held accountable.
News starts now with a breaking news alert.
That breaking news from Detroit, where prosecutor Kim Worthy just announced charges in the deadly shooting of Detroit police officer Rasheed McClain.
We today charge Juwan Parks with 16 counts. So our focus at this time is really to focus on making sure Mr. Parks is held accountable for the charges that we are charging him today.
What the defendant is charged with and when he's due back in court. And that does top our news this noon. In total, 28-year-old Juwan Parks faces 16 charges in connection with the November 20th shooting that took Officer McClain's life. Let's get to Victor Williams. He was there this morning when those charges came down. Victor?
Yes, absolutely, Rhonda. Prosecutors threw the book at this man. That's what happened here this morning. Juwan Parks is now facing a long list of charges in relation to the November 20th incident that led up to Officer Rasheed McClain being killed in the line of duty. 16 to be exact. These charges include 1 count of first-degree premeditated murder, 1 count of murder of a police officer, 3 counts of assault with intent to murder, 1 count of resisting and obstructing a police officer causing death, another count of discharge of a weapon in a building causing death, 1 count of discharge of a weapon in the building causing serious impairment, 1 count of felon in possession of a firearm, and lastly, 8 counts of felon firearms second offense. Charges that prosecuting attorney Kim Worthy says is almost a guaranteed conviction.
We are very confident in these charges. We are confident that we can prove this case beyond a reasonable doubt. Matt Penny will be trying this case, and so we're confident that we can prove each one of these charges beyond a reasonable doubt.
And there's a chance that this man can actually be arraigned today, but we are waiting to get confirmation that that will actually happen. And of course, we will keep you guys posted. Reporting live, Victor Williams, Local 4.
Well, with that many charges, you can now understand why it took the office so long for all of those charges to come down. Victor, thank you.
We learned about last night's shooting, Sabrina.
Well, nearly 20 years of experience, shot and killed last night in Augusta. The Richmond County Sheriff's Office mourning his loss. It's a loss people across the state are feeling, even here in Central Georgia.
Sabrina Burris has been looking into this shooting. Sabrina joins us in studio. What have we learned about last night's shooting, Sabrina?
Well, Frank, Richmond County Sheriff Richard Roundtree says 51-year-old investigator Cecil Ridley was with other deputies in the process of a gun roundup near the convenience store when the shooting happened. All day, sheriff's offices and police departments around Central Georgia have posted about the shooting, saying it hit close to home.
Investigator Cecil Ridley died Tuesday night in the line of duty. Richmond County Sheriff Richard Roundtree says deputies tried to stop 24-year-old Alvin Hester Jr. in a convenience store parking lot. But the sheriff says Hester went inside the store instead of stopping, and deputies followed him. That's when they say Hester started shooting with one of his 3 guns, hitting and killing Ridley.
I want him to be a symbol of what we're trying to do in Richmond County. We're trying to eliminate and reduce gun violence in Richmond County at the risk of our lives.
In a news conference, Roundtree described the fallen deputy and how he wants him to be remembered. His death was felt in Bibb and other county sheriff's offices and police departments. They posted on Facebook about how he paid the ultimate sacrifice. His death struck friends and family members all over Central Georgia. Mount DeSales Academy principal Mike Franklin says Ridley's daughter is a student in Macon. Serena Morris says Ridley's daughter is her niece and asked the community to keep the family in their prayers.
He was out there for the citizens of Richmond County. He was out there for people he didn't even know.
2 other officers inside the store. Inside the store, both men were taken to the hospital who were shot, where investigator Ridley later died.
All right, thank you, Sabrina. The GBI says they have secured warrants for Hester from the Richmond County Superior Court on several charges, including murder and aggravated assault.
The 2 officers that shot at Hester are currently on paid administrative leave while the investigation continues. Central Georgia community sending out their support to Ridley's family. Stella says another senseless murder. My prayers are with the family and friends of investigator Ridley. Thank you for your service.
Kayla said prayers for this brave man's family and friends in the coming days. And Cindy commented, "So sorry for the loss. I am praying for his family to find strength and comfort."
7's John Bedell begins our first important new information at 5. Dayton police say one of their own, shot in the line of duty Monday, will not survive his injuries. I'm Cheryl McHenry.
And I'm James Brown. Police said Detective George Del Rio is still in grave condition at Grandview Medical Center and on advanced life support.
News Center 7's John Bedell begins our Team 7 coverage live in Dayton with the very latest on Detective Del Rio's condition and the life-saving legacy he will eventually leave behind. John.
Yeah, Cheryl and James, hard news to hear from Chief Beal this afternoon. We're here at Grandview Medical Center, and I want to use this map on my computer to help illustrate just how severe Del Rio's injuries are. So when he was first shot and wounded at the home right here on Ruskin Road on Monday night, Dayton police first called for a medic, and they were going to have that ambulance take him the 5 miles to Miami Valley Hospital, but police quickly realized that his injuries were so bad they could not wait for that ambulance to get to the home, so they put him in the back of a cruiser, and they instead made this drive. It's about half the distance from the home on Ruskin to where we are here at Grandview Medical Center. He's been on advanced life support since then. Then we got word from Chief Beal at 2:30 today that Del Rio, who again he is here at Grandview Medical Center, will not survive his injuries. We know that Del Rio impacted many lives during his 30 years so far with Dayton police, and Chief Beal told us this afternoon that he will eventually continue that life-saving legacy in death. Dayton police confirmed just after 2:30 Wednesday afternoon that Detective George Del Rio remains on advanced life support at Grandview Medical Center. The department had been hoping and praying for the best, but had to announce the worst Wednesday. In a statement released to News Center 7, Chief Richard Beals said, quote, "The injuries he sustained on Monday evening when he was shot are tragically not survivable." Del Rio and the other officers on the DEA task force with him were all wearing body armor when they went into the home on Ruskin Road with a search warrant. But the bulletproof vest Del Rio was wearing could do nothing to protect him. He was shot twice in the face. Del Rio has been with Dayton police for 30 years. He's spent the last 19 years with the DEA task force. Chief Beal told WHIO Tuesday Del Rio dedicated his life and career to life-changing work.
There's no doubt that through his hard work and dedication, Detective Del Rio has saved and changed countless lives.
Del Rio will continue that legacy in death. Chief Beal went on to say in his statement Wednesday, quote, "Not surprisingly, after a life of dedicated public service, George will continue to give of himself to the greater community by being an organ donor upon his death." Chief Beal also said in that statement this afternoon that the department will make a formal announcement once Detective Del Rio does pass away. We will let you know when that unfortunate word comes from DPD.
Hey, Sheriff County, this is Sheriff County COPWATCH. I am using any video here with under fair use if you have criticism, reporting, teaching, etc. And please donate. I do not make money from YouTube, and there are different ways to donate in the video links. Thanks.